So, what would happen if Captain Ginyu had won on Namek? In this timeline, we'll say that the other Ginyu Force members do not die as they would traditionally in the show or manga. Instead, they all regroup with Captain Ginyu about the same time that Jace comes to Ginyu whining that, hey, we can't beat this guy. They all then, after Captain Ginyu recognizes that Goku's body is strong, he tries to steal it. But Goku manages to deflect it and it doesn't work. So Ginyu decides to use a new technique. He fuses with all of the Ginyu Force members and has all of their powers, and then he proceeds to, murder Goku. Like, well, he doesn't murder him. He gets really close to killing him, but Goku has Krillin and Gohan, which this will play a little differently. Goku with Kaioken is able to nearly defeat Merge Ginyu, but Ginyu makes them, or Mega Ginyu makes the mistake of, killing Gohan and Krillin, which, doesn't go over well. After that, Goku loses his mind and goes Super Saiyan and battles Mega Ginyu, which that's when Mega Ginyu's like, I think I need to leave. So he manages to pause Goku in time and get Frieza. Frieza, obviously sensing this power level, comes out and decides that, hey, maybe that's a bit of an issue. So Frieza goes through his various forms, 1, 2, 3. And remember, this Goku is not as strong as the one that fought Frieza originally. So in about his third form, Goku's in his Super Saiyan form, and they're completely even until Frieza goes final form. That's when Ginyu's like, maybe we could take advantage of this. And while they're fighting, Ginyu takes the Dragon Balls and uses the Dragon Balls for himself. And he wishes for body stability. Basically what it is, it upgrades his body change power. So basically, if, say he got in the body of Superman and then said change now and change with Goku, he would still retain all the powers he had when he was in Superman's body. Basically, he could have an infinite number of powers. Ginyu uses this, and as he does, Goku then is killed by Frieza because there's no way he could beat him. Ginyu remains a loyal servant to Frieza. However, Frieza eventually becomes weary of Ginyu and is furious they use the wish orbs without him. Ginyu then plays it smart and switches body with Frieza and then switches back into his main body, which gives him all of Frieza's abilities and more. Now he's as strong as Frieza plus the Ginyu Force. So he then betrays Frieza and kills him. He takes over the Frieza Force and makes everyone do quirky poses, and it becomes the Ginyu Force, or the Ginyu Force. Well, the Frieza, that'd be how it worked. Through time, Ginyu begins to go to other worlds and begins taking on other bodies and whatnot. And eventually, when he comes to Earth, the androids have been spawned. However, this time the androids aren't exactly after anyone, and they're not as strong. Or they're as strong, but they're not. But Cell doesn't have enough DNA. Frieza and Cooler or King Cold never come to Earth because Ginyu deals with them. Goku and Vegeta, they'll have that DNA, and maybe and Piccolo too. But other than that, Cell's pretty incomplete. So Ginyu then takes over the Earth after killing the androids. He then continues on, and Cell is born, and he's a far weaker version of Cell. However, it still is enough for Mega Ginyu to have a run for his money, and switching bodies with him doesn't work because what Cell does, he catches that energy and absorbs it. After that, Ginyu realizes that he needs training and decides that he will surrender to Dr. Gero and let Cell absorb him. Now, this is going to be interesting because what Ginyu did beforehand was use his body change ability and wrap it around himself. Like the energy he uses to change bodies, well, he wraps it around himself. Now, when Cell absorbs him, it isn't the suck him and drain him dry, it's the I'm going to suck him up through my tail. Well, when he does that, he merges with him, and initially he begins to transform into a version of Cell But Ginyu takes control and becomes the one in charge. Now, this is around where Ginyu, he enslaves Dr. Gero. Like, he brings his power down immensely and has him make him into a full-fledged android. After that, when Boo shows up, uh, Ginyu is more than prepared, and he has like the whole Ginyu Legion, and he's just like, yeah, it's time to go. And so he almost enlists Babidi's help until Babidi makes him a Majin. That's when Ginyu decides to behead Babidi and stops Deborah before Boo is released. And eventually, when Beerus wakes up, there is no Saiyan prophecy because, everyone's dead. So, yeah, Ginyu would go on. No Universe 6, no Universe 7, no Moro, no nothing. But if we want to make this interesting, let's wrap it over to the GT side. I haven't done this in any of my other What If They Got Stronger, so this is new. Okay, let's go GT. We'll say that the events of the Boo saga happen, and then it splits. If Ginyu was in GT, the first arc is find those Dragon Balls. Well, Earth isn't destroyed, and nobody finds the Dragon Balls because nobody's a freaking idiot. Um, they don't find it. After that, it would be Baby, but Baby would just come to Earth and possess a random Ginyu Force member, and probably find a way to make it to Ginyu, and then join up with him, and Ginyu would trick him into joining with him, and then Ginyu would take control. Ginyu would then, when dealing with Super 17, which is now Super Cell, Super Cell, yeah, Super Cell. That's when Gero and Mew make Gero and Cell, or Super Cell. Ginyu would kill this version because he's just like, yeah, I don't really feel like it. Even though he does lose the cell that was in his body due to the fact that, the other cell rips it out, he does manage to kill them with the Ginyu Legion bombarding him. He then goes to hell after Piccolo has to let him in, and it's like, we're gonna take over. And he starts switching and switching back, switching and switching back, and eventually gets his powers back to full strength. And Super Cell's gone, so there's no soul for him. And the Shadow Dragon arc, I feel like Ginyu would try to keep the Dragon Balls away. And if the Shadow Dragons come out in the universe and plan on ending it, Ginyu would probably mock them off for a while. Like, he'd be like, oh, well, they're not going to be a problem. No, Omega would kill him. End of story. But anyway, this would be what happened if Ginyu became the strongest being in the universe and survived.